Federal investigators will finally start looking into a glaring issue that has plagued Hollywood for decades: the lack of female directors. Last year, women directed fewer than 5% of all major studio releases. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission will start interviewing female directors next week to determine if it should take legal action against the industry. Commercial director Lori Precious joins us from Los Angeles. She's one of the 50 women the EEOC has contacted. What will you tell them when you interview with them?
Well, I'll tell them that I'm euphoric that they've taken on this important issue, and not only is it important to investigate, but to actually bring some action against the studios, networks, and commercial industries that are discriminating against female directors, because they have investigated in the past, as far ago as 1978, when they issued a 55-page report condemning the low amount of female directors, and yet nothing has happened. So now action needs to be taken.
All right, so can you give me a little sense of what your experience has been in Hollywood trying to get jobs as a director? Yeah, I've been directing for 24 years, and every director probably is a little crazy getting into directing because it's a very difficult field. Every director has to have this combination of talent and temperament and tenacity and luck, and I think for a female it really has to be an amount of freakish good luck, which I had. And so I've directed probably 700 plus different jobs, commercials, promos, music videos, but I was never able to transition to doing TV episodic or studio features, which is where the biggest discrimination is. So in episodic TV, the number is about 16% of the episodic directing jobs went to women. And again, we point out fewer than 5% of major studio releases directed by women. The ACLU has filed a formal complaint with the EEOC, calling it a systemic failure to hire women directors at all levels of the film and television industry. And I understand it's not just directing. In the top 100 films of 2014, women only made up 11% of writers, 19% of producers, and Meryl Streep in Vanity Fair has just said the word isn't disheartening, it's infuriating. She says that there were male critics that vastly outnumber female critics, as well as in Rotten Tomatoes and the prestigious New York Film Critics Circle. Why is it happening? Is it intentional, or is it simply an old boys network that through old standards and old hiring practices remains that way?
I think it's all of the above. You know, discrimination at a certain point is really difficult to put your finger on, except for the numbers don't lie. You know, typically people don't come out and say, we're not going to hire you because you're a female. I mean, that rarely happens, although on occasion it does. So it's, yeah, it's really in the numbers. And this conversation is an old conversation. I mean, that's why I'm saying that words are meaningless at this point. It really needs legal action to force a change.
Okay, and what else? I mean, let me just play devil's advocate. Is there an issue with the kind of experience, the kind of education that women are coming in with into the industry?
Well, in any given film school, female directors make up about 50%. So the problem is right out the gate, is that the women don't get the opportunities that men do. And so then what happens, the only way to be a good director is to direct. And you need to direct a lot. It's a complicated skill. So if you're not at the very beginning getting those opportunities to be experienced, then, and if you're not making any money, you can't continue to direct. So then the pool of female directors gets more shallow. So of course there's more experienced male directors.
Are you optimistic that within the span of your career, you're going to see a major change in the opportunities for women directors?
Only if there's a legal action brought against the networks and the studios, because they've proven in the past that they won't change given their own devices.
Lori, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your story with us.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.